Hey everybody, it's LHG, and today is Saturday, and you are getting ready to watch a replay show of Critical Conversations presents Are You Ready for Love? This show was originally aired earlier this year around May, and a lot has transpired in just a few months. This show was designed to talk about people going from one situationship, relationship, or whatever to the next, and not taking time to take care of themselves, and not really realizing that, I'm about to be one of those people. My status is changing, and I am going to have to heal and get ready to love again. So as you watch the replay show, please comment, please like, please tag, please share, please subscribe to Critical Conversations with LHG on YouTube, and follow me on Facebook under Critical Conversations and Girl Chat Weekly. And have a great time tonight. I'm at a wedding right now as you're watching this. My dear, dear, dear sister is marrying the love of her life. So love really is in the air, and I'm happy for my girl. So watch, relax, enjoy, and I'll be back next week. Thank you for supporting this platform. I appreciate you. And really, really thank you for being such tremendous supporters for this platform that God has given me. All right. Enjoy the show. Bye. There we go. Hey, everybody. Good evening to you. Good evening, and welcome to the Friday night edition of Critical Conversations presents Are You Ready for Love? That song is heavy. Was you rocking, y'all? Was y'all rocking? Did y'all have your hands waving? Woo, listen. Online church mother brought her lap cloth tonight. This is going to get, let me tell you, I got my lap cloth because I'm going to lay myself out. Listen, this show going to be serious tonight. I'm going to lay my own self out prostrate before the Lord because it's going to get serious. I'm covered up. Listen. And shout out to Lady Evelyn who made me this lap cloth, by the way. It says blessed. It says blessed. I'm already ready. I'm already ready. Okay. So tonight's show, as you know, is called Are You Ready for Love? And we're going to pray. And I'm going to tell you why I chose this topic and why we're diving into this particular arena. If you've been watching my show, if you've ever wondered why I do what I do, I focus on the 7 areas of wellness when I established Critical Conversations, even before Trailblazers. That was my mantra, so to speak. Physical wellness, mental, emotional wellness, environmental, social, spiritual, financial, and vocational. And love falls into that area of emotional wellness. And I believe we're put on this earth with a longing to be loved. But some of us have had some obstacles and some challenges in that area. So we're going to pray. I want to bring my special guest up and we're going to talk about this. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tag, share, subscribe to Trailblazers with a Z Radio on YouTube, like the page on Facebook, on YouTube, Critical Conversations with LHG. You got to have that part in there. Subscribe to my channel, like my Facebook page. Help us to reach 100 subscribers on Trailblazers pages. And also, we put the GoFundMe link in the comments. Let me put it up here now. Our sister Coco Fenton is still in need of your help, our help, to raise the funds for much needed treatment for the very rare autoimmune disease that she's been suffering from on a daily basis, and has been affecting her quality of life. We are asking for, if you can, even if you can't donate, to share the link on your pages. This is real. She is a real person with a real disease. We would not have any kind of scam or anything, that's not real presented to you. So just know she is a podcaster too. My Life Has Destiny is hosted by Quint and Coco on Monday and Thursday. So she is a real living, breathing person. And we want her to have the treatment that's going to facilitate her healing. So, speaking of healing, let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we acknowledge you as our healer, as our Savior, as our Lord, as our deliverer, as our strong tower, as the way out of no way, as the light in the darkness. That is who you really, truly are. I am so grateful for this platform, for my guests, for my listeners, my watchers, my supporters, those who believe in the power of confession, breeding healing. And even though we don't tell our stories, the body has been keeping the score. So now we're opening up our mouths because silence has not really been all that golden. So, God, here we are with open hearts, open minds. We are ready to, first of all, love you because you first loved us. Secondly, many of us are ready to embark upon love again, coming out of divorce or tumultuous breakups. So we're going to talk about that. We want our hearts to be ready, our minds to be ready, our finances to be ready, Lord Jesus. So, God, all I ever ask you to do is come in, sit down, put your feet up, Lord, and just be in this atmosphere so we can learn, love, and grow. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Simone, girl, let me tell you, let me get you off mute. Let me first of all give y'all my disclaimer.
Good evening, guys.
In this red cup is ginger ale. I know most of the population thinks red cups is alcohol. Not on this here show. I drink, but I don't drink that on this here show. The cup just happens to be red, okay? It's
And
a
I have
communion.
my water.
It's a communion cup. And you got your
Listen,
water. You don't
yeah.
come in here dehydrated or ashy ever. We need
Good
all
evening,
our
everybody.
moisture.
I would like to welcome you, as she has already done. Welcome
Yes,
to Critical Conversations with
it's
your host,
critical.
as we like to call her, LHG, but she goes by Latanya Harris Gooden.
I do. I do. So listen,
LHG,
y'all.
it's just an acronym for her name.
That's exactly right, Simone. You are on point. So I wrote some notes down to tell the listeners and watchers why I chose this particular topic.
And listen,
And
y'all, she chose,
I
as
want to break this
always,
down because it's a reason, it's a method behind this.
right.
So I wrote down our relationships seem to be suffering per social media, and I said it because if you have a lot of Facebook friends, I've got close to 3,500. I don't know them personally, maybe about 50, but in watching their statuses and even from my own statuses, I can tell that we have bumped our heads some in the area of love and in the area of relationship longevity. Next point, there is a population of people that have been wounded. Okay.
Come on.
And it's not that love itself does the wounding, it's the people that are supposed to be operating in that love that do the wounding. I don't want to blame love. It's like gun violence. I can't blame the gun for the violence. It's the person who pulled the trigger. So
Period.
love is not to blame. So those of you who have been walking in fear of love, please don't blame love. We as human beings don't always operate the right way when it comes to love. Number one, we don't know what love really is sometimes. We
Pause right there.
confuse it with feelings and sexual connotation. That's not all that love can be. Go ahead, Simone.
When she said we don't know what true love is,
Come on.
it's a fact. However, comma, exclamation point, whatever you want to put there. The good father up in the throne room, or as y'all like to say, upstairs. He has literally given us a blueprint, if you will, of love.
Yes. And
when I say blueprint, I mean literally, he literally did like this.
Right. Did he not?
Literally.
Yes. Gave us
what
his
the song said, they hung him high, they stretched him wide.
How about that for love? Okay. How
he
about
hung
that?
his head, and for me, he died. That's the literal.
Look, don't start. I got my laptop.
If you want, listen. If you want a photograph of love, literally look at that. But the problem is, once again, we don't necessarily, let's say, manufacture that love.
Oh, I like that. Come on, girl. You better talk that manufacturer talking here today.
We don't. Let me flip that around. We don't we don't operate as our manufacturer has created us to operate.
We don't follow the direction. Listen.
We opened the box and we just said,
and we want to do it our own way.
We just opened the box and we just say, okay, I'll throw the instructions out and I'll figure it out myself.
There it is.
And that's the issue.
That's good. That
good,
is
the whole problem.
That's good.
Because he's literally not only is he the blueprint of love, he is literally giving us.
He is.
You see this?
He has.
You see this?
Yes.
What's that say in the middle? Sorry, hopefully y'all can see it. What's that say in the middle?
Holy Bible.
Yeah.
Holy Bible. Okay.
Basic instructions.
Know about love? There's scriptures on love.
Bible. Bible is an acronym, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything can be put into an acronym. Bible is an acronym.
Yes.
Basic instructions. BIB for basic living.
Okay.
BIBLE.
Amen.
Basic instructions for.
I like that.
I know what I mean.
I like that.
But seriously, and we take these things and we just toss them to the wind and just oh, okay, Lord, I'll figure out my own self. I don't need you. We're good.
We do. Let me get through these points. So there's a population of people that have been wounded not by love, but by people that teeter in the balance of what's next. Okay?
That part.
There are people
Repeat that again.
There is a population of people that have been wounded, not necessarily by love itself, okay, but maybe while in love, wounded by people, and we teeter in the balance of what's next. Many of us have been going through divorces, breakups. We've been wounded in a situationship or relationship, and we don't know how to move forward. Next point. My small contribution is to facilitate conversations that help us make better choices.
Oh, that's good.
We choose the people that we allow in our space in an atmosphere of love. We're talking about choices here. Who we are gravitating towards, who we are attracting. I want to talk about that. Next point. Ultimately, I want to see our relationships last, be fruitful, and our families stay together.
Come on.
Talking about the objective of the show. All right. Next, I want us to be honest about our status. When I say status, I'm not talking about the Facebook status. Single, married is complicated. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our status in terms of where are we in the process? Are we in between relationships? Have we been divorced, broken up? Are we looking to love again? We have to be honest about where we are on this journey. Are we moving forward? Are we waiting to be, for God to heal us from a past situation? We got to be honest about our heart condition before we go into something new.
And that's not even just in relationships. I think that's in life, period.
Life, period. Life can beat you up. It's like going from job to job. Sometimes when you lose a job or when a job closes, and it's like, wow, I feel really bad. Well, now I got to find out, what do I want to do now? Do I want to go back into that industry, a different industry? It's similar in relationships because we need to give ourselves the benefit of a cool down period. And I'm going to come back to that.
Good.
So maybe you have fallen out of love. Maybe you feel as though love has let you down. Maybe, let's talk about this song. Are you ready for love? First of all,
I've never actually heard that song.
Oh, that's a beautiful song. And I don't own the rights to it, by the way. But I wrote down some notes about
the first time I've heard that song is when you posted about this.
Beautiful. Nakori sent it to me, and I had already heard it. It's a few years old, but it really talks very deeply and intricately about. It's a question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You realize you may or may not be.
Yeah.
You can't assume that because one relationship ends that you're automatically ready for another one. Let me give you an example. Have you ever heard of a payday loan, Simone?
Yeah.
When you go get a payday loan, you're saying to them, you let me borrow money.
Mm-hmm.
When I get paid, I pay you back, right?
Pay you back.
If you do so many of them in a row, they will say, stop. We're going to give you what's called a cool down period. Why? Because you are using payday loans as a crutch.
Mm.
And we want you to financially reset
Mm.
so that you don't keep losing money on the interest, because it's good to get the money, but it costs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to pay a pretty penny in interest
Yeah.
to get access to your paycheck early. The company is making money. Check and go, no shade. They're making money. So relationships, when you do one, stop. If it ends, give yourself a cool down period. You need to allow your heart to mend. If it was a very tumultuous breakup, especially ended abruptly, that it hurt you so bad. If you go right into something, you may bleed on the next person, and they had nothing to do with why you broke up with the previous person. It's called I call it a cool down period. Go get a good shower, wash off the hurt, the pain, the rejection, the abandonment, whatever you felt in that other relationship. Wash that off. Give yourself some time to get back to you, because many of us women, we tend to lose ourselves in relationships. We get so engrossed in it, and our lives are intertwined. Whatever we do, we got to find out, well, what is he doing? That's not your husband. You got to, everything's built on him. If he want to go, if he want to do this, what you want to do, sis? So we got to have the proper balance. Being in a relationship doesn't cancel out your identity. And I'm talking even marriage. Yes, you may be one in a spiritual sense, but you still have two different names, two social security numbers, two bodies. There's still some individuality, and the essence of who you are should not be eroded or ignored because you're married or in a relationship. So a cool down period. So NDIRE says, are you ready for love? Why are you hiding from me? As if love is hiding from her. I'll give up my freedom to be held in your captivity. Ooh. Because guess what? Just to be honest, love captivates us.
That's some good stuff.
You are truly, everybody hasn't been in love before. And the way you know you could be in love is you are captivated. It envelops you, it embraces you. You can't stop thinking about this person. You have such deep affections for them. That's love. So she's saying she will give her freedom, meaning her singleness, maybe, to be captivated by love's embrace. Let me keep going. She mentioned all the joy and pain. There is joy and there is pain in being in love. Why? Love shouldn't hurt, LHG. I agree. However, because we are human and we operate in a human capacity, we have the propensity to hurt one another.
Oh.
It may not even be purposeful, y'all.
Right.
Because we're not perfect beings. Any human being has the propensity to hurt another human being.
And I like to put it like this: we are imperfect people living in an imperfect world.
Absolutely, Simone.
That's just the way it is.
Absolutely. So in the song, she says, maybe love isn't ready for me. Maybe I need to learn maturity. Listen here. If you are trying to embark upon love, being in love, you need to make sure you're ready and you are mature. You are saying, I want to attach my affections onto another human being. All that I am and all that they are, I wanted to not collide in a bad way, but to merge. It's heavy because going into this, you don't know what all of them includes. That's why the dating process is serious. You got to know and ask questions and be around this person in the ups and in the downs to even see if there is compatibility.
Amen.
You got to do this. If you are trying to date with the purpose of getting married, then you need to take the time to ask the right questions. Now, maybe you are dating and you don't want to get married. Then you better tell that person that up front. I'm just dating to be dating. I don't want no real commitment. I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
Some wild oats. You need to be honest about that because there may be people out there that would like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into it with false pretenses and you got that person thinking you want to be with them or you plan to be in a commitment with them and you don't, you're a liar. And I'm calling you out, lap cloth and all. If you go into a dating situation, ladies and gentlemen of America and the universe, and you're telling people, I'm dating with purpose, the purpose is marriage, but you don't want that, you are a bald-faced liar. And ain't no, and you are wrong for that. You have to be honest with your intentions. Being ready for love means, first of all, be honest with your intentions. If you intend on getting to know that person, taking your time, dating, then going to courting, then going to engagement, then marriage, say that, talk about that. But if you don't have that intention, leave people alone that do. Maturity. The song also says, give me a chance, give me half a chance, and I'll be faithful and patient, kind, faithful, and true. It says, to a man who loves music, art, respects the spirit world, and thinks with his heart. India is saying in this song the kind of man she wants. Being ready for love means you got to know what you want, ladies and gentlemen of the earth. You hear me? You got to know what you want. You can't be in here, out here dating, putting demands on people that are unrealistic, and you don't even know what you want out of love. And we're going to go into how do you prepare for love. And one of the biggest things is cool down period and learn what you desire. What you got last time may not be what you want to do this time. Give yourself an opportunity, everybody, to be honest with yourself. What do I want? Do I want a commitment? Do I want to take my time and just date? Do I want to? You should never rush. And we're going to even talk about how long is long enough to wait. So let's go into this. Another reason why I'm doing this show or series is that we've been using rebound relationships as fillers.
Wow.
We have been using rebound relationships as fillers between Mr. or Mrs. Right now and Mr. and Mrs. Right. Well, until Mr. Right comes, I'll just deal for this guy until no. Bad move, sister. Bad move.
When you say rebound relationships for filters, what do you mean by that?
Well, a rebound relationship is say you got a breakup and you still raw, you still feeling it's still emotional, you still invested in it, you have just broken up with someone, and maybe you were in a long-term relationship. When it's a long-term commitment, the breakup is more difficult in many cases. 5-10 years or more, you need to have time. The rebound means I'm not quite healed. Okay, I'm not quite healed. Hey, Mr. Abston, but because I don't want to be alone, I'm gonna go out here and date this person right here, knowing they're not good for me until the right person come along. That's a filler rebound relationship. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait for the right person. I'm going to go out and get anybody that's available with 2 legs and at least 1/2 an arm and 2 eyes and 1 tooth. And I'm going to engage in a relationship when I'm not really dealing with the other person. And what happens with that, I've been that person. I've been the person that was the rebound woman. And I'm ready for something serious, but the other person is not, and they double dabbling with their baby mama and exes. So here I am, fully invested, head over heels. I'm ready, you know, wedding colors being planned and everything. But I'm the one that gets hurt because they could literally go back to their ex, and then that leaves me out of luck. That's a rebound filler relationship. And people do that because they don't want to be by themselves. And their loins be on fire, Simone. Their loins be on fire. Lord, that's why I brought my lap cloth in here. That's why that's why I brought my lap. Let me cover myself up, child. People are being led by their parts, okay? People are being led by their body parts. And instead of waiting for the right person that God sends them, the in-between people are there for sexual purposes. Problem with that is you could be misleading someone into thinking you're all into them and you're really not. You're a whole liar. You're a whole liar.
Wow.
And the rebound person is the one that gets the short end of the stick because they are fully invested. They have nothing to lose. They're all in, totally engaged, full throttle. But the other person is dipping and dapping in between exes.
Straddling the fence.
And that hurts. It hurts because in my case, I dated people on the websites before marriage. And you make a profile, Simone. And you say all these things about yourself. I'm a woman of God, woman of faith, looking for commitment. I love walking by the world, all these beautiful things. Yeah. And what these men were doing, they will look at the profile and pretend to be everything I want. Oh, they call me talking church talk. Let's go see Kirk Franklin. I love the Lord. Let's do all these things. And come to find out, it wasn't even real. They did that just to bait me.
Catfish.
As in boy AIT, bait. Hook me in like a fish.
Yep.
And then once I got into them, by the way, I'm married.
Right.
Girl, let me take a picture. Girl.
No, and it's crazy that you said it because the reason why I'm saying catfish is because I don't know if y'all watch the show on TLC.
Catfish, child, catfish, perch, and white.
Yeah, but it's the same scenario. Like these people get online and they will find these people, create these profiles for these people, and they feel like these people are in love with them and whatnot.
Yes.
And then
she gave it to me.
Yes, you're right. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. And a lot of times with these profiles, you saying too much because the people can literally, they become award-winning actors. They act like they're beautiful, like they love everything that you love. It's so perfect in the beginning. The violins is playing, the birds is singing, the trees is swaying, love is in the air, baby. But then when you get real good in that thing, you find out, well, honey, you can only call me between 3 and 6, and let the phone ring once, and then just hang up, and then text me 3-1, just 111, and I know it's you. And then, are you married? Yeah, I thought you knew. No. So I start asking people, are you married? Are you in a relationship? Are you playing around with somebody? Because it became a game to people. But I was the one getting hurt. So imagine someone like me being that rebound girl. And when I get ready for my next relationship, if I take my wounds from that into the next thing, we're not gonna make it. So that cool down period, that calm down a minute, get yourself together, LHD, well, LH back then. Get yourself right, clear your mind, and get busy. Don't be so. I was so obsessed with marriage and obsessed with having someone because most of my family was married. You go to the family Christmas, Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
You got mom and dad, auntie and uncle, cousin and her husband. Everybody's all coupled up but me. So I started to feel like, well, dang, Lord, I'm
You gonna
here.
leave me out?
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't getting no younger, Lord. What's up?
Right.
What's up? But you can't look at it as I want to be with someone because everybody else is with someone. You gotta really be ready to give your heart to someone, and don't rush it. Don't rush it, especially if you're just coming out of something. That cool down period. So you really are grieving what just ended. Even if you were the one that ended it, even if you broke up with them, you still have to grieve that moment of it's over.
Yeah.
The person that you were so in love with, y'all was supposed to do all these things together. It didn't work. You got to have some kind of closure. And you can't wait for them to close it. You got to close the door yourself. Like, that's over. Move on. You got to really, I'm going to say this. You can't get completely healed of the past without God. This is a heart condition. When your heart has been broken, if you don't go to the one who made you and created you, I think you're doing yourself a disservice and you're really not healed. We're taking the same issues, the same rejection issues, same abandonment issues, same trust issues to someone else's front doorstep. Throwing it in their lap and saying, fix this, fix that. You want to love me? Fix all that. And they never can. They're not made to. You and God got to, okay, Lord, fix me and prepare me for the next person. Because once you the next person prematurely and you dump all your issues in their lap, and it's like, have you ever seen Simone a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
And it's got all those colors on each side, and you got to keep twisting it until you line them up. It can take hours. That is what some of us as women tend to do with men. Here is my Rubik's Cube.
You can't
figure it out. And it's not fair.
People know how to do it fast.
It's not fair to do that to somebody. It's not fair to expect them to figure out life's problems and issues. It's not fair. So I want to get into something. I've been reading this book, y'all. It's called The Power of R-E, a 31-day devotional by Coach and Pastor Deloria Michelle. Pray that I get her in here on an interview because I want her to talk about this book. I'm going to read y'all a little bit and we're going to talk about it. It's The Power of the Rebound. So listen here. Setbacks, frustrations, obstacles, challenges, lies, accusations, the list of things we have found ourselves or may find ourselves in a rebound goes on and on. However, the most common rebound situation is a rebound from a relationship gone bad. Okay? Bad marriage, abusive relationships all tend to leave men and women alike in places from which they are unable to return. So, skipping down, we have to first understand that our God is bigger than the hurt. He is bigger than the pain. He is more powerful than your offender. I'll put that down. So, what she is saying, and I love this book, y'all. Y'all gotta get this book, The Power of Re. What she is saying is the pain can seem so overwhelming, so insurmountable, but God is bigger than that. But if you don't give it to him, he can't heal you.
Amen.
If you don't pray, he can't heal you. If you don't meditate on the word, he can't heal you. Many of us are going from person to person to person to person, looking for something only God can give.
Wow. That's good.
We are looking to fill a void that's not made for a human. We're looking to fill a void only God can fill.
That's good.
So how do you get ready for love? Love you. Love God. First and foremost, do not involve yourself with nobody else after a breakup, divorce, until you love you and love God with all your heart. You do not need to take your broken tail on the doorstep of somebody else bleeding, hemorrhaging, one eye, one
Wow.
tooth.
Wow.
Don't do that. It's
That's good.
destined to fail. You need this recovery time. The word
That's good.
rebound is not a bad word. Rebound means to bounce back. You got to give yourself a chance to recover.
And that's
Wake
just
up.
like, and that's good that you said that, because it's just like if you have a surgery, especially like a major surgery.
There it is. Come on, Simone.
And you
Come
don't
on.
you don't allow yourself to heal completely.
Like I did, Simone. Tell the truth, say the devil, Simone.
If you don't allow yourself to heal completely, then
Baby,
your surgery is
girl.
what they call it? What's that word? In vain. In vain, for lack of better words.
In vain, yep. And when you love someone, it's almost like surgery. You are opening up your heart in the
Absolutely.
deepest way.
Absolutely.
They open up your body to operate on you. In love, you open up your soul sometimes to love a person.
That's why
and then when
they call it soul tie.
Soul ties, boo. They real. We're gonna do a show on that. Actually, Coco did a show on that. I'm gonna share it, because when you are in love, you vulnerable. You open.
Yep.
Your nose open, everything open.
Yep.
And you're attached. So when something that deep and love is a beautiful thing, but when it doesn't work, that's an indescribable pain when you are fully invested. Mm-hmm. So when it doesn't go right and you haven't allowed yourself to recover, like surgery, put your bandages on, get a checkup if you need to, get some therapy if you need to, get some Jesus and some therapy, Biggie size it. Come on. Biggie size, whatever, because sometimes, let's be honest, some breakups is so deep, especially when you talk about domestic violence.
Come on. Yeah, because in a relationship, like you said, every part of you is open.
Every part. In a real relationship.
Heart, your mind, your spirit.
In a real one. Soul. Yes. Every part.
Yeah. So
every part.
If you allow that person in and they don't take good care of you in all those parts, then you're literally damaged from head to toe.
Yes, especially when you got married and they vowed
that part
to love you, better for worse, richer or poor,
sickness and in health.
And they abused you. You vowed to love me, and you turned around and abused me.
Right.
That man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
And for some people, if you don't get a cool down and you don't seek God and seek therapy after an abusive relationship, you will mess around and attract another abusive mate because you haven't closed the door to that spirit.
Yeah.
You will mess around and find yourself in another abusive relationship because you have not learned how not to attract abusers.
And the problem is, I've seen it so many times. I've watched so many shows. And the problem is, some of us like that.
Oh, Simone.
Some of us really, really, really like that.
That's a sad situation.
It is. Like, you're really comfortable with somebody beating you up in the head 24/7.
That alone requires therapy. Because that's not normal. That's not normal.
Hello. Okay. Like you're literally okay. You're okay with somebody literally beating you upside the head 24/7. You wake up, they beat you up in the head. You do one small thing wrong.
That person doesn't know what love is.
Right.
That's the person who
I watch these little clips
of love. Girl.
I watch these little clips. on Facebook.
Me out, child. Woo.
Listen, I watch these little clips on Facebook with these videos. And they have these scenarios, and these girls are together, whether married or not. But the guy, even if you let his breakfast get cold, he's gonna knock you right upside the head.
Wow.
And I'm
You got
just
to
sitting
kind
here
of.
like,
I feel like
I
some
feel
people
like,
can't leave a bad relationship because of low self-esteem. Woo,
indeed,
that part. Yes.
indeed.
If you have issues loving you and knowing what you're worth, you will think that that abuse is love.
There you
You will
go.
think that nobody else will love me but the abuser. Therefore,
Indeed.
why would I go out to get somebody else? That is manipulative of that person to make a person feel that. But that's not low. That's no self-esteem. I can't even say
Right.
low. That's
Yeah.
like zero.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you think abuse is love, then you have a distorted view. And maybe that comes from
Yep.
childhood. It can
Yep.
come from anywhere. Maybe you don't know what real love is.
And you know the
That's
crazy part about it?
yes, let's be clear. Women can be abusers too. Very good point,
Yep.
Mr. Abston. That's
You
not
know,
limited to me. Not at
you know
all.
the part about it? These people who allow themselves to get abused, when people
Mhm.
try to help them out, they just like
Oh,
their favorite line is, "Oh, he's okay. I didn't do exactly what he told me to do, so I made him upset."
they try to make it their fault. Again, that is somebody who has zero self-esteem and has no real clue what love should and should not look like.
Yeah.
The way abusers, men or women, they convince you that it's your fault. You should have done this better. I told you to do this and you didn't. So
Yep.
I have to hurt you. My love for you is gonna hurt you enough to get you right. Manipulation and deception.
Yeah.
And it happens every day. And unfortunately, some of these situations end up fatal.
Yeah.
They're on the news all the time where I live.
Oh, trust me.
Man goes up to the lady's job because she decided to leave him and shoots her. Come on, y'all.
Yep.
That's why when
Yep.
you want to be ready for
And
love,
those type of things, that's the type of case where if I can't have you, no one can.
And that's exactly
sad.
what the post said. If I can't have you, nobody can. That is not love.
That's
That
sad.
is obsession. That's obsession. And
Yep.
it's demonic. That comes from the devil. Love should never cost you your life. If other than Jesus the Christ,
Right.
that kind of love cost him his life, but he came on back.
Right.
We don't have that kind of resurrection power exactly like that.
Nope.
We don't have 9 lives.
Nope.
And you're right, Mr. Apps. I'm glad you brought that up. Women can be abused, whether it's physical or emotional abuse. Women can do that. We're not, left out of that. That's a part of women can do that too. But how can you know what real love is if you allow someone to do that to you? And if you make it out alive, ladies or gentlemen, don't go right back into anything else until you definitely get
Please don't.
And therapy, extra biggie size it.
That part.
Extra biggie size, because you have to now heal physically, from the abuse, heal emotionally, maybe even heal spiritually
and mentally.
Most abusers don't even want you to go to church. The abuser don't want you to go to church because they don't see a black eye.
Yep.
They don't want you to be around nobody but them. Most abusers are obsessed with people and they are territorial. Why you going to that church? Stay home and cook my dinner.
Right.
So a person in that situation, and you
I want my dinner to be ready by the time I get home.
Right.
Excuse me, sir.
If there is someone listening or watching who has been in an abusive situation, I'm not here to tell you to leave, but I'm gonna say do what's best for you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think it would be God's will for you to allow yourself to be physically or even mentally abused in any capacity. And I need you to get some help.
Yeah.
And get to safety.
Mm-hmm. Please.
You never know who's watching this.
Please.
Get to safety, especially if you have children.
Please.
Because that is a dangerous, you don't know what that person, male or female, is capable of. It hurts my heart when I see those news stories where, person gets upset and shoots the mama and the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. That's not love.
And the thing about it is the kid had nothing to do with it.
Nothing. And the lady exercised her right to leave, or the man. They have a right to leave you. If they don't want to be with you anymore, they have a right to move on. You have no right to take their life because you feel rejected.
Yeah.
Mental illness is real, Simone.
It is. Listen, you ain't got to tell me.
You better do some research about the mental capacity of the people you are attaching yourself to, calling yourself loving them. Those of you who are like me and who are on these websites, and even if you're not on, you could be in the grocery store line. You better research these people and their mental capacity.
Listen,
Lord have mercy today.
Look, figure out how many people they done already been with.
Ooh, Lord, girl.
Listen, no, because I've watched these shows literally, like Fatal Attraction and all that.
Fatal Attraction, Simone. You too young to know what Fatal Attraction is. You ain't but 19. Fatal Attraction is 50 years old.
No, but listen, I watch these shows and it's crazy. And it's like these people, like the men, will literally like, and women too, like you said, women and men, neither one of us are exempt. Like they will literally like go upside your head.
Woo.
or you, like if you don't want to be with them, and that's crazy.
It is not normal at all, because that's somebody that has such a deep-rooted seed of rejection.
And the crazy part about it is when the police go back and look at their record, they've already been in jail for domestic violence.
Yes, in most cases,
several times.
Cases I see on the news, and they bring up their criminal history. That person has sexually assaulted someone, physically abused someone, maybe even killed someone. But as I can only speak for women, I can't talk about what men do, but for women, in many cases, we are fueled by loneliness. And now desperation erodes your standards.
That's good.
It makes you anxious to where you will cohabitate with just anybody.
Literally.
Because you just want somebody. Because you're also wounded. They have their wounds. You got now 2 wounded people. Different kinds of wounds. But that's a terrible recipe.
Yeah.
And women, we have to be better with our choices, especially when it comes to the safety of our children, our own safety, and who we leave our babies home alone with.
Oh,
come back from work and the baby not breathing, and you find out that the abuser has killed your child. These are the kind of news stories that I have read in the past. Child left at home with the boyfriend. The boyfriend puts the dead child in the car seat, drives to the girl's job. Oh, yeah, by the way, little John is not breathing. By the way, what?
What do you mean, by the way?
What do you mean, by the way? You just driving around with a dead kid?
Right.
And when they pull up the rap sheet of that person, it's like movie credits.
Come on. Yeah.
All kind of assault and battery and this and that. So are you ready for love? You better be ready to live.
That part.
Let's start there. You better love yourself enough to say, let me pull back and make sure whoever this person is, I'm getting to know them in a way where I need to know who you are.
Yeah.
What you stand for, what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Because
and I love this question.
Made it out of relationships. Go ahead, Simone.
I love this question. Are you ready for love?
You like that question?
It's a legit question. Not saying not saying questions are not legit, but it's like a real deep rooted question. And those type of questions is where you literally have to sit down and like ask God to open you up and just
come on,
do like a literal physical examination.
Yes,
and spiritual examination.
Yes, questions are supposed to make you stop and think. Like, hold on. Like on a roller coaster. Am I ready to get on a roller coaster? Am I going to
listen? Me and roller coasters.
I mean, I love a good roller coaster, but you got to be ready. We got a comment coming in, Simone. Mr. Absent says what it takes 3 when going into a relationship is you, your mate, and God. So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, it's off kilter. Off rip.
Yeah.
Off rip.
I want to be honest and answer this question. Am I ready for love?
Come on with it, Simone. Come on.
Am I ready for love? Physically, yes.
Physically.
Mentally and emotionally, absolutely not.
Okay. Well, let's break that down then. Why do you feel you're not emotionally ready?
Because I know I have a lot of things that I still need to work on, as far as my attitude, and my demeanor towards certain situations. The way I give off, like you said, what type of energy are we putting out into the world? The way I speak to people at times, especially when I'm angry, when I'm upset. There are a lot of things, and I can go through a whole list, but we ain't got that type of time.
You bring up some good points, Simone, because it does take a certain type of attitude to be able to function in the capacity of love. Now, you're not going to be perfect going into it, but at least you're acknowledging that I may have some attitude adjustments that I need to make because I want to open myself up to a whole other human being. I may want to find ways to handle conflict without a jump off.
Yeah.
We all can use improvement in that capacity, Simone.
Yeah.
Because the human part of us gets nervous or upset when someone doesn't agree with us. So and you're not gonna always agree.
Yeah.
You may not find someone exactly like you. You may find someone who has experiences that can teach you and you teach them. So you are identifying things to look at, to prepare. That's the purpose of tonight's show, to stop and say, am I ready? What can I be doing to prepare? And we talked about one of the things, love you, love God.
Yeah. Yeah. Emotionally.
That is preparation.
Emotionally, I can honestly say no to that too, because I've had a situation where I was inappropriately touched. I'm not gonna go into all the, but it was very literally damaging. Like, it was scary to me.
Okay.
And for one, I didn't really know that it was happening to me until the end.
Okay.
I was very, naive.
Okay.
In the midst of it, to be honest. And in the end, when it was all finished, that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I've been, wow. Like, literally at the end of it, I was like, wow.
This should not have happened. I just
been
assaulted, raped, whatever you want to call it, whatever the condition may be.
Yeah.
That's huge. And that can leave emotional scars, Simone.
Yeah. Like, so, after it happened, then like a little while down the line, I was like, oh my God. I just realized I've been.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what?
Huge. That's huge. That's huge.
And like I said, I was not what they call it, nonchalant or whatever.
Naive. In the middle of it, you didn't quite understand that it was wrong at that first moment, but as it continued, you were like, wait a minute, this is not. The instinct kicked in, like, this ain't supposed to happen.
Right. And being that I have a mental disability, that kind of made it even worse.
Right.
But I'm not blaming it on that issue.
Right.
But it's
wrong is like, wrong. Wrong is that should not have happened to you, period.
Right. So it was very damaging emotionally and mentally, like. And I forgive the person, I really do. To this day, I've seen them at all, period. But I know that in my heart, I have forgiven them.
Wow.
But that type of incident, that type of love is not.
That is not love at all.
No. So I
Let's
know.
just comment real quick, and I want to get back to that. Mr. Absent says you also have to be specific when looking for love. You can be given a man or a woman, but not the right person. That's for you.
That's good.
That's very
That's
good.
good.
And when you're
That's
asking
true.
God for what you want, first of all, you got to know what you want. When you go to God, I want this, this, and this. It's nothing wrong with having a
Right.
conversation with God about the kind of person you want. And
Yeah.
then, Lord, let me know when that person has crossed my path. Connect me to them. Because as a saved woman, when I was dating, every saved man wasn't a man for me.
Mhm.
Every man that was Holy Ghost filled and shouting the carpet down wasn't for me. But if you're naive about it, you may think, oh, he's saved, he loved God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead, that must be him. Maybe not.
And
Very
for
good
me, I
point.
was going into it because I've never been in an actual relationship with anybody. I was going
You still
into it
young.
like oh, he just wants to hang out. He's not gonna. He just he just wants to hang out with me and be friends. Like thinking nothing about what's gonna happen, where we're going, what we're gonna do. And to be honest with you, I asked no questions. Literally, not one question. I just went with the flow. I asked no questions. And that's where I was wrong, because I had no clue that we were going to get into that space. Like,
I'm not gonna say you was wrong though, Simone. How would you have been able to anticipate that?
Yeah, true.
Let's take that off you. You were not wrong in that you didn't ask for that.
That is true.
They were wrong. They violated you. Let's put that out there right now. You thought the person was just trying to hang out, have a good time. You had no idea they were going to violate you, Simone. You were not doing that. They were 100% wrong.
Yep.
And that type of activity, being whether it's molestation, rape, assault, whatever, it can leave an emotional scar. And a lot of times, if you're not, sometimes, I'll just be honest, in my particular case, for a long time, nobody could touch me. My first stepfather, I'm like, dude, this. I'm 8, and
no way.
Wife, I don't think it's supposed to be happening. And I was so disgusted and so confused that as I got older, I'm like, don't come close to me. I don't want nobody to come close to me.
Yeah,
it leaves
you're guarded.
There, and if you don't get into prayer and allow the Lord to heal you of that, and even help you to forgive, that's the hard part.
Tell me about it.
That's the hard part. You got to even forgive that. What? And it ain't for them; it's for you.
Tell me about it.
But in terms of being ready for love, assault, molestation, rape can make you hate love, or you don't want nobody to get close enough to you to love you.
That part.
It can scar you that much. That's why you may have to get therapy. You may need to you will need to seek God for release of that. That's a stronghold, Simone.
Absolutely.
That's a
stronghold. I've been to therapy.
That wasn't love.
I've been to therapy. And when I tell you, like she said, therapy and Jesus, Biggie says.
Listen.
See,
I'm telling you what I know. And it's people out here. But first of all, let me say this. Thank you for your honesty. You didn't even have to share that. And thank you for trusting us with that, because that's a serious situation. Those of you who've been following me, you know a little bit about my story. I can relate, because the age that I was when I dealt with that, I was naive too, because I'm like, I'm not sure this should feel good or not. I was
I was just like,
confused.
Wait a minute.
You confused.
Is this supposed to feel? Is this supposed to be happening?
Come on. Like, I'm
in
not
your head, like you're literally laying there and like in your head. It's like,
yes.
Is this literally supposed to be happening?
And that's what makes it a violation, because the person isn't even in the capacity to make a decision. Like I froze. Like, I'm not even sure if I should say something, if I should move, if I should stay still. It's scary. It's scary. And if you're not healed from that, I mean, from the inside out, you carry that into something else, that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
For many years, I'm like, ooh, don't hug me. Don't. Men scared me. Men made me nervous. My next stepfather after him, I hated his guts going into it because I thought he would hurt me too.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. If we're not healed, like you said, we will literally push everybody away.
Everybody.
Because we think they're going to do the same thing.
Yep. So in relationships, everybody out there, I'm glad you brought this up. If you're dealing with someone who's not responding to you in a loving way, find out what happened to them. Well, she won't let me or he won't let me. Find out what happened to them. Did something happen to them in their lifetime, childhood or adulthood, where someone hurt them under the disguise of love?
See that part.
Their viewpoint of love, and how they're afraid.
The part that you just said, disguise of love.
See? Come on. People use that as an excuse to manipulate you, to get you in a vulnerable position. And that's why it's assault. It's not consensual. You're not kicking and screaming because you don't understand what's happening.
Exactly.
You don't even understand in that moment. This cannot be happening. This cannot.
Right.
This cannot be happening. At 8 or 9 years old, this cannot. What is this?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
So that 8-year-old had to grow up. And for a long time, that little 8-year-old was still living in my head.
Jesus.
So my relationships were like, I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, give me a minute.
Yeah.
And they may take it as, well, dang, I actually like you, love you, but yeah, give me a minute. So you don't know what a person has gone through that may cause them to respond to you in an unfavorable. They may like you, they may even love you, but their capacity is limited because of their wounds.
Yeah.
Prayerfully, they would be willing to talk about it and maybe get therapy and overcome, why they feel that way. But many people don't.
Yeah.
They just are stuck in their ways. I'm good. I'm fine. I don't, therapy. I'm straight. No, you're not.
And again, that's because we don't allow each other to talk.
We don't. The silence is golden, generational thing.
Especially in this community and with the church. We do not. We do not.
In the African American community and in the churchicals. Community.
Listen, I like that word, churchicals.
Lap cloth ready, girl. Woo!
Listen.
Let me cover. Girl.
Go ahead and cover. Go ahead.
In the churchical community, we ain't trying to talk about no abuse, no trauma.
Absolutely not.
No, we ain't claiming that. Don't claim no trauma. Don't claim anxiety. Don't claim depression.
We're all about speaking positive. And yes.
All a thing.
Yes, speaking positive. Speaking positive is a good thing. He said you have what you speak. Yes, so speaking positive, speaking and claiming and decreeing and declaring, all that's good.
That's good. But,
however, comma.
That word. However, in the comma. Conjunction shows your function.
Right. So speaking and naming and claiming, and I'm going to get this by this time. I'm going to have these by this time. I'm going to have these kids by this time. I'm going to do this. Yeah, that's good. He said to speak what you want. That's the word. That's what he said. However, if we cannot vocalize our trauma and our feelings, then like you said, we're gonna act out in some type of way.
It's gonna manifest in your behavior. It's gonna manifest in your marriages, in your relationships. It's gonna manifest with your children. It's going to come up.
Listen, and I've seen it with children, even if I worked in what's it called, childcare. I've seen it. And it's not even that they have been abused or anything like that, but they act out what they can't speak.
Come on.
Especially the little babies.
Yes.
But they act out because they can't speak or they're not allowed to speak. So they in turn, I'll just I'll go over here and smack her in the face.
Grades going down when they were all A students, and all of a sudden they are D's and E's and F's. Something might have happened. Acting out with the teacher when they were a straight A1 in citizenship, now they're getting all 3. Something might have happened. And children aren't going to walk up to you and say, "Dear mama, this is what happened to me." It doesn't work like that. The behavior when their patterns changing is your.
And I've had to learn that. And I've had to learn that because I will be that type of teacher. I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not going to deal with this. You're not just going to walk over here and slap her in the face for no reason."
Mm-hmm.
Shut them down real quick.
Adults can't even articulate what didn't happen to them. Some grown folks, Simone, don't even want to talk about it. It hurts too much. It just hurts too much. But you acting crazy, you're being mean. Nobody can get along with you because there's something going on in you. Woman, dude, listen.
Yeah.
It's coming up anyway.
That's the thing. I'm learning how to vocalize what I want and what I need.
Good.
But again, if you don't have that space and that opportunity to speak,
you got to create it. You are an adult.
Yeah.
And you have a right to stick up for yourself and make it known to anybody. I'm not comfortable with this. I don't appreciate your tone. I don't think I'm not comfortable with what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
You can't be rude about it, but you need to be able to stick up for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because we're talking about people being ready for love. You don't know what people have gone through.
Yeah.
You don't know what people's pasts are.
True.
So while you may be dating somebody, you may think that they're kind of hard or abrasive. It could be a reason for that. It could be fear. It could be trauma. It can be their wounds. I'm not saying you gotta deal with it. Well, I think what I'm saying is don't be so quick to judge it without asking a few key questions.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right. Maybe you should be around them a little bit. It's like when people judge me back in my old job. When I'm focused, my face is kind of like I'm not smiling. You used to me smiling. But when I'm really intensely focused,
like you are now,
it's kind of a like people used to think, "Oh, she mean." No, I'm working. When I'm focused, I'm working. Please don't.
And that's how I am. And that's how I am in certain situations when it gets heated and they take it as disrespect or whatever. It's me being very passionate about what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing.
My whole thing was people told me in my job, temper your passion. LHG, I was LH then. I was always known for being animated to a point and being passionate, like in meetings.
Yeah.
And it took a person who I really respect to say, he called me Harris. Harris, you got great ideas, you got great ambition, but just temper it just a little bit because
I've never heard that.
It can come across intimidating, antagonistic, even though I'm like, why should I temper mine? They need some dang on passion. That's how I felt. But I thought about it because you when I express myself,
why do I have to dumb down my feelings?
Right. But when I'm really, really feeling emotional or I'm really like, this is serious to me.
Yeah.
I can be a little rough. I've been told
that.
I've been told that.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure, okay, let me step back for a minute.
Yeah.
Smile on.
Yeah.
But that's when you are looking to date someone, I think sometimes we have this idea of what we think people should act like. And we want them to be like us all the time.
Yeah, because we have a what do they call it? Preconceived notion, something like that.
Preconceived notion.
And that. Thank you. We have this long bucket list.
Oh, girl.
I want to have a 6-figure job. I want to be masked. I want him to have 6 abs and all this other stuff.
Not 6. Small,
you know what I mean? The 6-pack and all that other stuff. And then when he don't come like that, we like, Okay, God,
Baby.
did you not hear my request? Did you?
And we end up missing our greatest blessing. I'm not saying you can't have any
And we do that with God too.
preferences.
We do that
Girl.
with God. Look, Lord, I want this house like this. I need my car like this. I need this, and that this way. And when it don't show up like that, we just like, so you just ignore me, right? You
Right.
Just...
You should have standards. You should have morals. And if you happen to like people that look a certain, I'm not saying you should not. I believe if you have a certain preference in what a person looks like physically, the Lord wants you to be attracted to the person you date. But when you get too nitty gritty and too granular with your expectations, and you can't even meet the expectations yourself,
that part.
We got a problem. We got a problem with that. So being ready for love might mean find out what you want before you go into the next relationship and you just come out of something tumultuous. Rinse it off, dry off, and let's say some Juniper Breeze. Listen, Juniper Breeze, baby. That's my thing. That's my thing.
That's the only reason I know about it.
Yes, but you got to get quiet. I think you got to get quiet when you come out of something that was rough. I think life can be so loud, and distractions and opinions can start coming at you.
That's how I was when that happened to me. I did not talk to anybody, and when I say anybody, I didn't even tell my mom. Like,
wow,
I completely shut out. Like, I completely
shut down.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to talk. Like, when things happen like that, you don't know what to say.
You don't.
How to say it. When to say it.
You don't. It's a violation.
I don't understand why people. This is the problem. I don't understand why people I don't understand why people say there's no good time to say bad news. And I mean, I get it. But it's like when certain things like that happen to you, you're just like, okay, what, like, you literally cannot even form the, and you're just sitting here like, because number one, you're trying to figure out what happened to you yourself.
That's not even attached to an age. People can be molested, raped, violated, and never say anything
at all.
People have taken that to their graves. You hear me? People have taken that to their grave because for one reason is this: the person who did it was family, and they don't want to ruffle the feathers of their family, and that's wrong. That's wrong.
So wrong.
Most of the time in my research of incest and molestation, it's like 80% or more of the cases is someone that had access to you. A stepfather, dad, mom, even uncle. It's people who had access. Cousin. We have to watch who has access to our children. We have to watch. Just because it's uncle this or cousin that, you can't just assume, okay, I'm all right with this. You got to watch people. And the person will hold that inside of them because if I tell this, it can destroy it destroyed you.
Right. So and most of the time, and that's true. And most of the time we hold it in because the other partner's like, if you tell this, I'm going to come after you.
Yep.
So we're afraid that if we talk, then we're gonna have consequences.
Yep. Let me go to the next point about getting ready for love. We talked about learning what love is, learning who we are. Now we're talking about nailing down your personal values. Just like a company or a corporation has values, every individual should have a set of values, morals that they stand for. You need to be good what that is, because when you start dating, you are looking for someone that at least can agree with you on the stuff that matters.
Yeah.
I ain't saying you got like fat heartbeats like me.
That part.
That would be nice. But I'm not gonna argue with that. Yeah. But if you're not a believer like me,
yeah,
that's a whole different That's my morals and my values.
How can two walk? How can two? What is it? How can two?
How can they walk together unless they agree?
Thank you. Yeah.
So you got to figure out the deal breakers and what's really frivolous.
Mm-hmm.
Should you want someone that makes a good living? You should. You should. Should you want them to have a specific occupation?
Not necessarily.
Know about that. Make it legal.
Right.
Morals and values.
Right.
Drug dealers, you are disqualified.
Yep.
But find out what it is you stand for and drill it down. And then the next one is, it says, I'm reading my article. This article, by the way, is by the Harley Therapy blog. There, that word is therapy. It's called Be Ready for Real Love. How to prepare for love and partnership. It
Come
says,
through article.
Do a life declutter. What they mean is, if you have people in
Break
your
it down for
circle,
us.
if you have people in your circle that serve you no purpose, get them out. You got people in your circle of influence who are dragging you down, get them out. How can you be ready for something as heavy and vulnerable as love and beautiful as love if you've got other influences in your ear distracting you? A life declutter. Like you declutter your room, declutter your life.
That's
Boom.
good.
Come on, let's keep going.
What listen.
We getting ready for love now. We getting ready. This is preparation. Next one, get some goals. My godmother told me before I got married, before I was, engaged, get you some business. Don't be so desperate for a man to where you up all night finding these profiles. Let him find you busy. Go to school, get your career going. Let him find you doing you. Let her find you. It's the man that got to find. But when you men, get you some business too. Yes, you want to find a good woman, a good mate, but get your career tight, get your money straight, get your license and stuff together. Women, do the same thing while you are in that waiting period, getting ready for love. Get your business straight. That's preparation too. You should want that whether you end up with somebody or not. Yeah. There's certain adult things you ought to want to have for yourself. Get some goals. Next one. Meet your new best friend. Ooh. Guess who that is? You.
Yeah.
How about that? Take yourself to dinner. Take yourself to the movies. Enjoy yourself even in your singleness. Don't get into that mode of desperation and loneliness to where you just like, oh, Lord. Just any half a man will do. Let him have just one good tooth, Lord. Let him have one good tooth.
Oh, Lord, not the one good tooth.
Let him have one strong tooth, Jesus. One strong. Let him have one eyelash and one good tooth, Lord.
That ain't shit. See, let's get on back in. One eyelash, though.
I digress. Let him have one eyelash and one good tooth, Lord. That's all. You ain't even got to give me the best. Just give me,
one tooth and one eyelash.
One. I'm telling you. Get to know yourself, become your own best friend, experience traveling, do you. Because I think when you do that, you're going to attract the right kind of people. Desperation has an odor. Loneliness has an odor. And there are certain kinds of people that pray. They can smell your desperation. Oh, they can smell it. Oh, she going to be real easy because she just want any kind of man. And I had men tell me, you a big girl, be glad you get whoever you get. Excuse me?
Right.
And I used to believe that. It took God and some therapy to snap me out of that low self. And I still have a little bit of that sometimes, but I have to remind myself I'm God's masterpiece. And when confidence is attractive. See, a confident person, male or female, big or small, you start attracting a different caliber of people when you hold your head up high. Fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, if you
Yeah.
are broken down, can't nobody even see your face.
Yeah.
You know, you got that look like Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman.
You know what?
Bless their souls.
You know what?
Spruce yourself up.
Listen, you know what?
Listen, if I can get me an $8.99 ponytail and $5 eyelashes, so can you, Sister Soldier. Listen,
I am so like,
you want to attract the right kind of people. You want to be a go-getter. You want to have some You want to come on. And then you got to go out somewhere. Ain't nobody gonna ring your doorbell and say, you call a husband, you call a wife.
They can't do it. That's your husband and the wife.
Go out someplace nice. Go to a conference. Go to the movies. Go someplace where there's professionals and people that are like you, where you can mingle. Have fun. We're getting ready for love.
I had to learn to be more outgoing because I'm gonna be honest with you.
You are young, beautiful.
I'm an introvert.
And it's okay to be introverted to a certain point. But if you want to be in a relationship or at least start with friends, you're going to have to be somewhere where you can show yourself friendly. That's the Bible.
Yeah.
Listen, I done went Bible on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have fun. See the world. Go to parks. Go to concerts. The weather is getting better where I live. They're going to be doing the outside concerts, bottled water and different stuff.
Listen, I wish I was in Michigan with you.
I wish you. We're going to meet soon, Simone. The Lord going to bless me with an aeroplane. An aeroplane. Girl, and land on your house. I'm like,
come on then. I'm be ready. Listen.
Girl.
I'm going to be ready. Listen, and I'm a parachute right up into the airplane with you.
Girl.
We're going to ride off into the
last
sunset.
point I want to make in getting ready for love is sort out your past. You gave some very important and sensitive information, Simone, about your past. And you were honest and transparent in saying that sometimes our past experiences can become barriers when we're looking to get ready for love because we've been hurt. We've been violated. We've been abused. We've been sort that out. If it takes therapy and Jesus, sort it out. If it takes a village of friends, sort it out. This whole process of getting ready for love, I think you need a good friend that you can confide in, like just to bounce things off of. Like, I think I'm ready. You know, and someone who knows you.
Look.
Yes. I will be that person. I have no problem with that. Because this is something that's so serious. And someone who's been around you and kind of has seen you in different arenas, they can say, well, I think you might be ready, but just take it slow. Getting ready for love, take it slow. How long should you wait between relationships? Take it slow. There's no cookie cutter formula. You have to decide how long is long enough based upon your healing process. If you were in a 25-year marriage and then you get divorced, you don't want to wait 25 days and jump back in something else. You may want to give it a minute, make sure you are fully healed and you're not still kind of leaning and with that other person, because that can get rough too. When it's lasted so long, but two people can still be messing with each other. They could be totally divorced or whatever, broken up. They still having them. What you doing? I want to come over there. Come on. Are we done or are we finished?
Nope.
What we doing?
We still mingling.
That's that ex. You ain't done with your ex yet. You definitely ain't ready for nobody else. That's how those rebounds happen. You still dipping and dabbling with the ex. Here goes somebody new, and they are ready and excited. And they thanking the Lord for you, but then you still going back, and they're like, "Well, where you at? I'll call you back." Well, that was a week ago. What's up? Because you still been entertaining the ex. You're not ready if you still entertaining the ex. You're not ready. You're not ready to move on if you're going backwards. You got
so since we're talking about being ready,
okay.
Do you have do you have a specific list of knowing when you're ready and when you're not? No, like you just said, if you're messing with your ex, if you're still messing with your ex, you're not ready. Like, so do you have like different pointers
I
to
have
give
some suggestions.
audience
First
of
of all,
when to know when you're ready and when you're not?
if you're still in love with the previous person, or you can't live without them, and you still wondering, you on their Facebook page, see you scrolling and being nosy, you ain't ready.
You ain't ready, okay?
And what people are doing, I'm glad you said that. What people are doing, they breaking up and they stay Facebook friends. Why? Why? You want to see that? Oh yeah, she over there saying she going on date. He over there saying he glad he got rid of his ex. I'm the ex. What he mean by that? No, when it's over, it really should be over. I'm not saying they gotta be enemies,
Right.
but case in point is, for one, if you are still dealing with the former person you were dealing with, the ex, you can't be ready.
And that's not to say not to deal with them at all, because if y'all have children,
The good point, you
co-parent,
co-parent.
make
But if
it work.
you are basing your co-parenting on this relationship happening,
Right.
I'm coming to get my baby unless you come over here. And parents can be manipulative. I ain't gonna do this unless you do that. It gets complicated when there's kids involved. It's not impossible. It's doable if the people are mature. Okay, our relationship is over, but because of this child, we're going to forever be co-parents.
Right.
That child could be 62 years old. If we 91, you 93, that is still our child.
Yeah, yeah.
So that connection because of them, yes.
Yeah.
But if you're saying, if I don't be with you, you're not going to be a father, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that.
See?
And I've experienced that before.
See?
That hurts. Like, I don't need you to do nothing but help me take care of the child we
Right.
created.
Right.
But it's a good question, Simone, because if you are still in love with, infatuated by, stalking your ex, you can't be ready.
And I'm asking this because I know you've been in that position. So you would be the perfect person to know, when I'm ready and when I'm not.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Since let me cover my stuff up. Let me tell you this.
You need to usher, y'all.
And we're gonna get in the nitty-gritty. I started to question God because of my age.
Oh.
Just because you are over 40, just because you're over 50, doesn't mean you're ready for love, relationship, or marriage. And you can be ready, but it doesn't mean you should go out and just grab anybody out there because you think your biological clock is ticking. The readiness aspect is not an age factor. It's a maturity factor. It's a compatibility factor. Is this person who God has for me?
Guys, listen to this.
I'm like, Lord, you need to hurry up. No disrespect, but
and that's the problem, because we know, as Christians, as believers, we know that he doesn't care about our timetable.
See? But we do. We feel as though, well, society says
he has no interest in our timetables.
We have been brainwashed to believe that marriage should happen at a certain age, kids should happen ideally at a certain age. And in our mind, we feel like, okay, I'm past that, so let me hurry up and grab me somebody.
Right.
And that's not a good recipe either.
The Lord is not interested in our timetables.
Allow him to bring you the person that God has ordained for you, you're going to be much better off. It'll be worth the wait. When people say it's better to have a Mr. Right now than just a Mr. Right, let me get Mr. Right now. At least I got somebody. No, that's not right. That's backwards.
Wow.
You want the right person, and like you should be willing to be patient and put some water on your loins. Simone, that's why I got this lap cloth on. Put some water on your loins.
See, you trying to be so comical, but I love it.
I'm serious.
I love it.
I'm being real at the same time.
You are.
The flesh
Certainly
gets fired up.
Tangled up.
Fired up, honey.
Listen.
Okay, we got a comment. The new age of dating, people want you to make a certain amount of money. Yes.
That
And
is
they
true.
want currency over character. Come on, Mr. Apton, you preaching up in here.
Right.
And some of us as women have been taught that you want a man to be this knight in shining armor and ride up on that white horse and whisk you away like in a song by Anita Baker, Fairy Tales. And yeah, some people do put way more emphasis on what people make than the character of the person. And you pay for that. Now, I ain't saying you got to have somebody that's broke either.
Right.
But you want someone with some ambition, some drive, some goals, some grind, some hustle in them, you know. So yeah, if you are dating, you should be making sure you got the right values. That goes back to that, get your values right. What's the right set of values to put on the table when you're dating? If you're dating for a sugar daddy,
oh boy,
they got a website for that, sugardaddy.net. If that's your motive, I'm just saying, if that's your MO.
Right, like Coco said, that's your MO.
If that's your MO, go on to sugardaddy.com. But don't come complaining when he don't treat you right, but he got all his money, but he don't treat you like nothing. Don't come over here on my podcast and tell me your story.
Facts.
But when your morals and your values are balanced and rooted in God, and you look at people for the content of their character, they go MLK. Come on, Martin Luther King. The content of their character, and you get to know them. That's what the whole dating process. I rushed through dating. I didn't enjoy dating the way I think I should have. I was so obsessed in marriage, because
when you say you were so obsessed with the dating process, break that down a little bit more.
I didn't enjoy it. Dating's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to be able to go out, watch a good movie, grab you 2 chicken wings and a 7-Up.
Oh Lord!
And have a good time. Get a barbecue rib or 2. You know, you're supposed to be able to have fun. Dating should be fun. I made dating grueling because I was so desperate. I think I put extra pressure on people. Like, what are we doing? Are we going together? Like, it's been 15 minutes, girl. What?
We just started.
Can I? What's your name again?
Right.
I mean,
is that one of the hiccups when it comes to dating?
It can be. If you're going into it with this fast and furious spirit, it can be a deterrent. Now, I ain't saying be turtle slow and take 5 years either. But if you're dating and you just met the person, we shouldn't be like, I love you. What? I don't even know your last name.
Right. Yeah.
So you gotta know how to slow it down. Slow it down and have fun. Don't put so many expectations in it. Lord, I don't know how this is going to be, but hey, we're going to see a good movie. If nothing else, I done had a good chicken wing, a good glass of Sierra Mist on ice. I saw a wonderful film. If it goes somewhere, fine. If it don't, I had a great evening. Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
But LaTanya Harris, as I didn't have good at that point, I'm at home like, well, Lord, how many bridesmaids should I have? Girl.
Wow.
You just met the man.
Right.
Come on.
You sitting at home daydreaming about a wedding already.
Tell you why, Simone. Low self-esteem will make you attach your worth to another person. I didn't think I was worthy or worth anything unless I was attached to somebody.
My God.
That's what low or no self-esteem can do. If you don't know your worth individually and you attach yourself to a man or a woman, that's a disaster in the making. They'll never be able to fill that void. A man or a woman can't show you how to love you. That's you and God. Come on. Mr. Abson, you on a roll tonight.
It's a whole church service.
You have to continually date your mate. Yep. The same stuff you did to hook him in, honey. Hook him, you hooked him now. Okay. You was
hook, line, and
good,
sinker.
Smelling good, whining and dining, all that good stuff. All that good, lovely things you used to do, you got to keep that up.
And I've heard that. But the question is, in reference to that, does that always work? Like, I know we talked about, some people say we need to add more spice to our relationship.
Got to keep it spicy.
So when it comes to doing the same thing you did to keep him, does that always work?
Maybe you can do some of the same stuff, but put some sprinkles on it. But you better do something.
I love it. She said put some sprinkles on it.
You can't hook them and then don't do nothing at all.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna last. Whatever you did, whatever attracted you to them and them to you. Mm-hmm. If y'all used to go walk by the water, if y'all used to do this certain stuff, communication for real. For real, Mr. Abston. For real. Talk about everything. Everything. Yeah. If you a couple and y'all ain't talking, that's not gonna work too long. Or they talking to everybody but you. No.
Okay, so I know we're talking about this, and I know I might dib and dabble in the last podcast that we had a few weeks ago.
And the ugly.
About the sensitivity part.
Ooh.
When we both come together with our emotions and our vulnerabilities. What can that create in a relationship?
It depends. It's nothing wrong with emotions. We all have them. How they manifest and how we show them may be different, but we all have them. And emotions aren't bad. Let's put that out there. Every emotion isn't bad. There's a multitude of emotions, many. But when you bring that in and your vulnerability, it could work as long as you do one thing. That.
Communicate. Yeah. Okay.
So whatever emotions I'm feeling, and then this right here. Whatever
I'm feeling, the bad and the ugly. Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling a little ugly.
Yeah.
Figuratively. I'm emotional. I'm a wreck. I'm feeling good with emotions.
Right.
You gotta communicate. You have to be so in tune with one another that you become best friends and you do this.
Yeah.
Mr. Abson just gave you the recipe for a good relationship, a very good foundation. But that's the trouble spots. The communication seems to be the trouble spot for many people. Number one, they may not know how. Number two, they don't want to listen. They listen to respond, rebut, refute, argue.
Yeah.
Instead of hearing a person's heart and spirit and soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, emotions have a place. Love is an emotion.
Absolutely.
Being vulnerable is good because if you close yourself up, how is that person going to get to you to love you and to learn how to love you?
Okay. So in that question, when you have been hurt in your relationship, let's say you've been hurt in your relationship, which you said you have, how do you find a way to open up as far as when you find yourself in a new one? Would that be a part of your healing process?
For me, what I should have done and what I did was two different things. What I see now in hindsight was that I didn't want a cool down period. When one relationship was ending,
you just went on to the next.
I was like, I don't want to be. I want somebody to go to the show with, talk to on the phone, hi Kiki. When you don't allow yourself that cool down period, you don't get to heal, and your wounds travel with you into that next relationship and they manifest themselves with a person who has no idea what the heck is wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why you so hard? Why you so this? Why you so that? Because I brought my wounds with me. I brought my distrust with me. I brought my what's your angle? I brought that with me. I brought hurt you before you hurt me. I brought that with me.
Yeah.
So you owe yourself and the other person a clean slate. Try writing on a chalkboard that's full of words already. You're not going to be able to read it. You got to erase it. You got to write it down.
Yeah.
If it's already full and you're trying to write on top of stuff, it's convoluted.
Yeah.
It's convoluted. So you need to give yourself a clean slate, that good washing, letting that stuff wash off you and making sure you're done with the past. And then you owe that person a clean, you don't even know them. I used to hate when guys would tell me, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not getting your hair done. I'm not getting your nails done. I'm not paying your cell phone bill. I ain't asked you to do neither one of them. I work.
Yeah. I can do all that myself.
I work. So why you come to me with that? Maybe your Bonquisha wanted you to do all that, and that was her.
Mr. Apton said, before you speak, you should take a minute to get your thoughts together so you don't respond too fast before your brain can truly comprehend the message in question. Yeah.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
That's great advice, not just for relationships, but for an interview.
For life, period. Yeah.
For life. Before you just start talking off stuff and winging it, digest the question. Put your thoughts together. Same thing in that cool down period before you break into something new. Let me take a minute to see how I'm feeling, how I'm adjusting, because breakups can be an adjustment. Marriage breakups, especially. Houses.
I know this is getting deep and it's getting late, but I know I want to ask you this one thing.
Okay.
When you said that cool down period, and I know you said, it's no certain time, but it depends on your healing process.
Yes.
Would you suggest that a year would be okay, depending on what that person has been through?
It's going to depend. If it was a long relationship, it may require a longer cool down period. If it was short, it may be a short time, but it depends on the connection too. Sometimes the amount of time don't even matter. You were so in tune to that person. You were head over heels in the first 3 months. The breakup was like, wow. So you really have to be in tune to yourself and what you require, what healing looks, and there's no one size fit all for that.
Yeah.
What you may be able to get over in 6 months could take me a year, or vice versa. Right. Especially if there was abuse involved.
Yeah.
If there's domestic violence involved, there's so many layers to that. They may need therapy. They may need physical and mental healing to even be able to entertain some, or some people who have been through that go right into something else and they're abusive too. So everybody gets affected differently. We respond differently to breakups. Divorces. Right. Now, if you get divorced and really y'all been apart for the last 10 years anyway, it may not require you much time because you technically ain't even been one in so long. It could depend on the circumstances. I can't really say 6 months to a year, but you really have to be in tune to your healing journey and be honest. If you are still wrapped up in that other person, you're going to have to figure out a way to rinse yourself off of them if you ever want to get into something else. It's not fair. I've had someone tell me in dating, right now, I am still getting over my ex. So I don't move too fast. I'm just being open and honest, LH. I'm just being real. And I really had to respect that.
Yeah.
Because he was saying, don't push me too hard right now. Let's just, watch Game of Thrones together.
Get slow, yeah.
chill, because he could have not said nothing
That part.
and let me get all strung out on him, like, oh, I'm just in love, and play me like a fiddle. But he didn't do that. Now, here's the thing. He said that to me. He said it. But in my mind, what I heard was, and what I felt was, well, once you figure out that I am everything you can possibly need, young man, you're going to fall in love with me. That's what I heard in my brain. We can't change nobody. If he said he's still getting over somebody, but he willing to be friends with you, believe him. Don't think you're going to change him. But when I get through putting my feminine wiles on you, boy, you're going to be begging me for some of me. No. He said, take it slow, Flo.
Right, yeah.
But sometimes we just so eager. We just so ready. We don't listen. The man is saying, take it slow. Take it slow, big mama. Slow. Whoa.
Yeah.
A commitment. That's right, Mr. Abston. That's the best part of communication.
Yeah.
He was honest.
Yeah.
He went into it saying, let me just tell you, I'm getting over a lot. And he was in that relationship for at least 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
We were engaged.
That's a long time.
So
yeah.
Technically, he probably should have been cooling down a little bit longer. But maybe he wanted to just have a friend.
Yeah.
Go to the show, hi, he, nothing real heavy.
Right.
But me, I thought I was ready for something hot and heavy.
Right.
I felt that if I keep coming around him enough and convincing him that
something
I'm everything that he needs,
yeah,
I would force.
Yeah.
No. So what I started doing everything I could for him. Do you want something to eat? Do you need this? So at some point he said, well, shoot, if you're going to offer, yeah. I don't want nothing serious, but if you're going to offer and put yourself out here, I'm going to stop denying you. But when it didn't work, it was kind of my fault, Simone. I should have listened to what was being said and made my decision right then. Are you willing to take this slow while he gets over whatever? That's where we play ourselves. You can't change nobody. If he or she says they're not ready, they're not ready. And you can't make them ready. Their readiness depends on their willingness.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you.
The communication part is coming into the play in the dating part. You got to be talking to each other. You got to be seeing what's your motive, what you want to do, what you're looking for, what.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can make the decision.
I feel like a relationship is sort of like an interview. It should be, at least, because you got to, like you said, you got to know what y'all want. Both of y'all, between the both of y'all, you have to know what y'all want.
That's a good analogy, though. When you have a good first date, the awkward first date. Oh, I used to hate first dates. And you wanna keep it light. I mean, you shouldn't be talking about my ex-boyfriend. You shouldn't be doing. Don't run them off. I mean,
but wouldn't that, like, now that you said that, wouldn't that be a part of you being honest and, like he told you, I'm still getting over Bonquisha and them.
I think you have to watch the timing of it. If it's a first date, it could come up. It may depend on how you bring it up. Okay. If the whole conversation is about your ex,
right? Yeah.
Chances are you still in love.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't been here eating our corned beef sandwich. We in the second hour, and you still talking about your ex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still talking about your ex. So sometimes you have to use a judgment call. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Yeah.
You got to know when to give them a little bit, but you don't want to run them off. The first thing was kind of you getting acquainted. It's orientation.
Mm-hmm.
It should be light and fluffy. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I've enjoyed our talks. Let's go to the show. Let's go for a walk. It should be kind of, now if there's a second date, a third date, a fourth date, You might piecemeal a little bit, little bit, little bit, and then see how they respond. If you unleash all your ex's issues with, and you dealing with them and all the baby mama, baby daddy drama in the first date, you're gonna be left with the check, boo boo.
So
You're gonna be left.
So let me ask you this: when is the, and there may not be a specific timing, but when is the appropriate timing to let your partner know, hey, I'm still dealing with such and such pain from the past, and I'm, things of that nature. When is it?
You said partner. When you first start dating, you haven't become a partner yet. When you feel, I think if you've had a few dates and there's something there, maybe attraction or something like or whatever, and you starting to feel that pull, like, then at that point, maybe you should start telling them a little bit more personal stuff. When you see them as a partner, yeah, it's time to lay a few more things on the table.
So once you actually
do it prematurely, because you really haven't invested anything yet.
Okay. So what you're saying is when they actually become that partner that you think you have something with, that you believe that you have substance with.
Substance. When you start feeling substance, because the first date you ain't felt too, I mean, it might be a little bit, but when you start feeling like, they check off a few of my boxes.
Right.
We on the 5th date.
Right.
I can't, did he call me? Did he call me? You starting to feel that little, okay. But I would probably sprinkle like a little dab of salt, little pepper. I would sprinkle a little bit of information. Let them, once you open it up, he might open up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might have been like, I'm waiting on her to see if she'll open up. Once you open up, just to let you know, I've been through a few things in my life, Tyrone. And my last relationship was 3 years ago, and it ended in a
Gosh, this is getting good.
But I'm over it, and I'm looking forward to starting over. So he may come back and say, well, I feel you because I've been divorced for 2 years.
Yeah.
It should be a dialogue.
Right.
You should be able to, because if you doing all the dropping nuggets,
right,
and he just like, I mean, come on.
Right.
Okay, I'm a talker. I like dialogue. Come on with it.
Yeah. So when it comes to physical attraction, and you've been the R word or molested, when do you feel like would that be in that same time frame to let him know?
Oh, Simone, we're gonna have to make that for part 2.
I know. I'm asking a lot of questions.
That's a good one. I'm not sure if that's gonna come up anytime soon. I mean, that's a very, very private, personal.
Yeah, and I know. But I'm saying, because, like you said, when that did happen to you, you started pushing them away. Like, I don't want you touching me. I don't want you. No. So when he does go in for that intimacy,
that part. Now, if you ever got to a place where you were dating and he went to a point of trying to hug you or kiss you, and you felt that, you're gonna have to say something.
Okay.
Otherwise,
that's what I was saying. When would be the perfect time to let him know?
You just open that up, because if you got to the point where you got a little closer, I'm not saying sex per se, but just a little closer.
Right.
But you were like, oh, and you kind of froze, and he was like, what happened? What's going on? What's the matter? What I do? You could, but we're gonna make that part 2. I got to get out of here, Simone.
I know it's 10 o'clock. It was getting good.
Austin, for all of your contributions. Thank you for all you who are watching. Be sure to tag, share, and subscribe. We got to get out of here Tuesday. I'll be back weekly with Kayo Shonda, Women's Empowerment Show. I got to go. I love you, Simone.
I love you.
Have a good night, and watch out for part 2. Good night, y'all.
Good night.